5 millimeters when it's unfolded, so when you do use it in that tablet mode, it feels so light in the hand and it's not too heavy or tedious to use for long periods of time, because it's also only 201 grams, which is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, for context, my iPhone 17 Pro weighs 206 grams, so it's more than
And if you're curious about Apple's upcoming Ultra Foldable, then watch this video to the end because it'll have an almost identical experience to the Z Fold 8. Now getting into real world difference number 1.
Being said, this build quality has been great. I haven't gotten any scratches or flexes or creaking or anything of that nature. Moving on from the crease because, I mean, I took it out of the box.
Much of a difference as it does. The new anti-reflective coating works really well, and combined with the 3000 nit display, the Fold 8 stays easily visible even out in the sun. Gaming in 120Hz on the Fold 8 is a blast, and because the display is
gonna be more than enough for the vast majority of people. When it comes time to charge the device, I was pretty excited about this because we now have 45 watt charging, up from 25 watts on previous generations of foldable devices. But it was
yet somehow they fit dual speakers into this wildly thin frame. Right now I'm hyper fixated on music from the 60s. Maybe it's because I'm a geriatric ass millennial, or maybe it's just having a tablet for a phone. Regardless, the speakers on here do sound excellent. Not as good as the 26 Ultra, but
I get instantly disappointed because this is just so nice. The 4:3 aspect ratio is perfect because you get a huge immersive experience when watching 16:9 videos.
When unfolded, and not only that, the thing that like blows me is it still feels like conventional smartphone when you close it, and it's just super light. I mean, 2 weeks later,
But the outer display is an AMOLED display. It's super bright. It's 5.5 inches. I can still reach across the entire display for the most part. I think that top left corner with my thumb is kind of hard to reach. But again, it's very rare that I'm in those situations where I do need to grab it that way.
To me, I thought that this display would be too narrow for it, but the way that apps reorient on this type of display, it actually works pretty well. I'm able to see most of the things that I want to see on this display.
Screen space compared to the Fold 8 Ultra, I never really found it to affect my workflow. You can still comfortably run now up to 3 apps side by side for next level productivity or distraction, depending on what you're doing. But in all seriousness, how
all 3 down in the description down below. Now, the cover display doesn't have the anti-reflective coating, which honestly I think was a miss. Hopefully they add it next year. But everything else has been great about the cover.
And since the display is a smaller 5.5 inch size compared to 16.9 on the 17 Pro Max, it uses much less power for daily basic use like texting, email.
Wins from a form factor standpoint, and where the iPhone Ultra, because again, supposedly the iPhone Ultra will be this type of form factor, this passport style. So content is viewed amazingly. You're not getting wasted screen size, because that was the issue with the Z are in between, and for $2,000 it's hard to justify that situation, right? I'd rather just get an iPhone 17 Pro for $1,100 and then get an iPad mini or an iPad 10th Gen for $300 to $400 to $500, and I'm saving
enough resolution to crop where you need to. And yeah, as a photographer, I'm straight booty cheeks, but this camera holds up marvelously and does a lot of the heavy lifting. Where it actually shines for me though is the fact that this does get Samsung log similar to both the Ultras, which allows me to edit and color grade more
with 2 applications at the same time without feeling like it's just too cramped. And that is a problem if you're trying to use something like the S26 Ultra, like a regular candy bar style phone, like you're using a device like this.
Being integrated with your iMessage and your Apple Notes and your reminders and Safari and Apple Intelligence and Siri. But I'll give kudos to Samsung. It's playing much better with iOS and Apple than it used to, with Quick Share, AirDrop, being able to transfer everything over when
ability over the years. On the Fold 8, the hinge feels super solid and firmly snaps into place. It has an IP48 rating for dust and water protection. Samsung has also reinforced the display with new titanium panels that are up to 20 times stronger.
Right-hand speaker, so that is a bit of a bummer. Maybe they can change the speaker layout. Other than that, I really love this design and build and just how it's so pocketable. Inner display, beautiful, gets super bright with 3000 nits.
Optimal lighting, the camera quality just degrades quickly. And as someone who has 4 kids, where I'm constantly taking pictures and filming at a distance, especially if they're playing sports, like if my son's up to bat at baseball or he's
Likes it, you're not getting a telephoto, so that might be a bummer for some. And I've accepted this camera setup. I know that if I take photos and videos with this, it's not like to use
areas. The main camera does give a 2x crop mode, which I use often for products or for portraits. Even at 10x zoom, while it can't match the Fold 8 Ultra, I was pleasantly surprised by how usable the results still were. One thing I did notice is the color
Useless for any sort of zoom photography, and the 17 Pro Max can actually give you 4x portraits, which look insane. It's a whole different ballgame. And that brings me to
with this camera design, and I've been saying this for a while now, these vertical cameras, like this phone wobbles like crazy when it's on a table because you have this big camera bump here. If they would just take the cameras and rotate them and put
a camera without really having to think about it, and that's probably the biggest compliment I can give it. The Fold 8 brings some really smart camera features that take advantage of this folding form factor. For example, you can use the cover screen as a preview to frame your shots and use the main
quite hot and sometimes seems to overheat, especially when doing things like charging while gaming or just being outside in the sun. I find that the display dims down quite quickly. Jerry-rigged,
but it's not the fastest. Hopefully next year Samsung will increase it. But now there's silicon carbon in these batteries. It's a 4,800 milliamp hour battery, so maybe next year Samsung might increase it a little bit more, like 5,000 even.
Gen 5, you say? Why yes, it is the same chip in the 26 Ultra and Fold 8 Ultra. Heck yes, Samsung. While I'm sad there's no charger in the box, the included Type-C cable can still do 45 watt fast charging, which I'm not sure is fast charging by 2026 standards, but like
I feel it, but barely. So that's good. We'll see how this fares over time though, because again, this is only 1 week in. After about a month, I expect it to be a little bit deeper, and then after that it tips.
Absolutely not, since I literally don't care to as a normie, but really there's no denying both gaming and media on here is moist and looks amazing. As for One UI, I can't say I'm a fan of the app blow, but Android being Android, I can just delete them all and throw on my wannabe minimalist launcher, which
is the hinge mechanism, the display, sapphire crystal, you know, ceramic shield 1,000,000. Like, they're gonna give so many marketing terms to us to really kind of sell the hardware, because it's gonna be a beautiful piece of hardware. But the software, I'm curious to see how they
sweet spot for most people. At $1,899 or £1,699 for the 256GB model, it certainly isn't cheap, but you do get a lot of phone for the money. After all, it is a tablet that still
It's genuinely different from anything else I have used in a long time. The inner display, it's awesome. The hinge, it's very sturdy. Gaming on this has been awesome. Media, content consumption,
bit of a bummer. But regardless of all the problems with the Z Fold 8, it's still the best Android phone I have ever used, achieving so many things that are just not possible on the 17.
Video size itself is almost exactly identical between the two devices, but the Fold 8 Ultra will have the camera hole punch showing in the video. So if you're just looking for a device for media consumption, the shorter Fold 8 is actually going to be the better.
And having to switch back and forth between my notes and QuickBooks. But with the Z Fold 8, you can run all of these apps side by side, so you get the full picture all the time with no back and forth save.
The cover screen gets the same 3000 nits of brightness and smooth 120Hz refresh rate as the main display. So whether you're using the phone folded or unfolded, the experience feels consistently premium. The build of the Fold 8 plays a big role in why